Greetings, folks. We're back. We've covered a lot of ground and we're covering some more this time with you. This is Dick and that's Nancy.
Yep.
All the way. Back again. Well, we've had quite a time with Paul. You never have a boring time when Paul's around. Something's going to happen. So we've got Felix and Festus. Hard to keep them in order, isn't it? Anyway, chapter 25, let's get going here. Number 1, when Festus, the new ruler, went up to Jerusalem, what did the chief priests and the Jews do?
Well, they went and told Festus all about Paul.
Oh boy.
What had happened.
Isn't that something? When people have a burr in their saddle, they just can't forget. You know, a lot of things in life we ought to roll away. I guess they call it burying the hatchet. But these folks were not about to do that with Paul. So what's next? What was their plot?
Well, they were going to call for Paul and they would ambush him on the way.
Yeah, how about that?
You know, they're always sneaky.
Yeah. Well, you know, folks, there's a lot of ways that we can ambush people. And they were going to do this to Paul. Have him brought up to, and in between, boom. But I wonder how many times we ambush some person and say things about them that should never be said. How about a husband and a wife or a family? We say things, do things, infer things that can scar a life or a family for a long, long time. So best to heed even the 10 Commandments. We shall not bear a false witness. But however, I think I've been ambushed by some ladies out there too. Low neck, high, you know what? Certainly showing that they are on the feminine side of life. Something to think about. Not that we talk about it all the time, but there's a lot of ways that you can ambush somebody and not do them any good. The golden rule, do unto others as you would like them to do to you. How about that? Something to think about. So people do it physically and people do it indirectly. Ambush. What was Festus' decision?
Well, he said just leave Paul in Caesarea and let the accusers go there.
Yeah, if you're so rambunctious about this, wear some rubber off your tires. Next, in Caesarea, Festus, Paul, and his accusers, what did the accusers do?
Well, they started lying and charging him with things that he never did and they couldn't even prove.
Yeah, that's the way it is. The snowball just keeps getting bigger, especially when there's little or no mercy in a person's heart. Blessed are those that are merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And I'm thinking, folks, do we, any of us, want to be treated on the day of judgment the way that we treat those around us? Something to think about. To please the Jews, what did Festus say?
He said, Paul, are you willing to go to Jerusalem and be judged there before me?
Yeah. How about that? What was Paul's simple reply?
He says, I appeal to Caesar.
You see, he had been told in a vision, wasn't it, that he was to visit Rome. He was going to go there. So Paul knew that that was going to happen, and here he was going to have a one-way ticket, all paid for and go to Rome. So he appealed to Caesar. What then did Festus say?
He said, then that's where you're going to go.
Okay. Who came to Caesarea to greet Festus?
King Agrippa and Bernice.
Yeah.
They really thought a lot of Paul.
Yeah. Another couple here. Did Festus tell King Agrippa about Paul's case?
Yes.
Boy, he must have been the talk of the town. How about that? You know, when you speak up for Jesus, it doesn't always end up like the uproars that we are reading about, but when you speak up for Jesus, people are influenced. Now, I give out a card, and so does Nancy, to people at the restaurant, the chiropractor's office, anywhere. And I gave one to a man one day, and he said, "You gave me one of those a year ago." Okay, I guess we like to go to the same restaurant. But anyway, we leave impressions, and why shouldn't we? We're not going to be here forever. So why not make it look like that we have been with Jesus? What do you think about that? Anyway, who came to, King Agrippa, next question. Did Festus, well, I'm ahead of myself here. Next, did King Agrippa want to hear about Paul?
Yes, he did.
I don't know, for some reason. Don't you suppose God kind of parked an angel on their shoulder,
Well, you know,
whispered in their ear?
he knew about Paul, and he says, what's going on? Why is all this uproar here for?
Yeah, they were interested. And I think if I'd have been around, and you too, why not? Here's somebody's got something worthwhile to listen to. How soon did they meet to hear Paul?
Well, the very next day.
Very next day. My, oh my. Wonder if they slept that night. Do you ever spend a sleepless night? I don't have very many of those, and I'm glad. Anyway, I have two more questions here. What did Festus admit concerning Paul?
Well, he said that he admitted that Paul really had done nothing worthy of death.
Yeah. Not at all. And we know very well that that was true. And you know, it seems like in all ages, Christians can act just the way Jesus wants them to act, and they figure out some way to make them look like the violent people, when really not. They are projecting their violent disposition towards the innocent. They're judging others by themselves. What was Festus' dilemma with Paul and going to Caesar?
Well, he had nothing to write to Caesar about Paul.
Yeah.
There was nothing to accuse him of.
Would you say that again? I can't figure out anything wrong here. You know, when people get emotionally up, they say things and do things they think they're not doing, but they are. You know, jealousy, and that was a big part here. Jealousy will cause people to say and do things that they wouldn't do any other time, and it sounds right. I've never seen the like, and I expect you've experienced the same. I don't have anything to say. Paul's innocent as far as I'm concerned. And boy, there's a lot of innocent people out there that's been made to look like something else because a jealousy spark ignited a root of bitterness. So be careful. We all need to. Be careful what we say. What's that song? Be careful, little, say what?
Little eyes, what you see, ears, what you hear,
Yeah.
mouth, what you say.
Yeah, need Nancy on that one, don't we? So we've had another good time here. and we learned a few things. And next time, we'll be back for Acts 26. And just remember that all these things are so good for us. Share them with somebody else. Know the Bible. Know the truth. And bring a comfort to your soul. Thank you for listening. We'll be back.